this episode, I headed south to North Carolina, to the town of Franklinton, for the plant-based beer, bourbon, and barbecue festival at the Mason Street Manor. These little guys were probably the highlight of my trip. They were brought out by Blind Spot Animal Sanctuary and were just a few of the many animals that you could adopt. As you can see, the menu had plenty of options. Very affordable options at that. The first time around, I had to go with the barbecue plate. If you know me, you already knew I was going back for seconds. This time around, I went for the barbecue nachos. We paid a visit to Taylor Street Sweets, and I ate my first cupcake so quick I didn't even get a chance to get a picture of it. I had a great time at the beer, bourbon, and barbecue festival. It was definitely worth the trip. For Adam's pick, I headed into the beautiful city of Raleigh. Here at Adam's pick, it is a Brewery Bhavana on Blount Street here in Raleigh. Go check it out. This place was a flower shop, a bookstore, a brewery, and a restaurant all in one. Of the few vegan items that they had, I ended up going with the General Tso's tofu. Now, while my first impression of this place was that it was a little bit fancy, it ended up having a real laid-back and relaxed vibe to it. I was really impressed with my meal. Brewery Bhavana ended up being another great pick from Adam. Alright, so as you can see, Adam wasn't able to join me for this one, but don't worry, he's got something pretty cool coming your way soon. Just stay tuned for that. Alright, so I started off at the Mason Street Manor in Franklinton, North Carolina, where they're having the first annual beer, bourbon, barbecue festival, completely vegan, plant-based barbecue. Overall, the event was just really great, from the people there, the vibes, the atmosphere, the Mason Street Manor itself. Just a really great time. So shout outs to Carrie Kidd, Veg South, the Mason Street Manor, Blind Spot Animal Sanctuary, just anybody involved in putting that whole thing together. Great time. As far as the food, I started off with the barbecue plate. So it was like a pulled pork, obviously vegan, mac and cheese and coleslaw. You know, and I have this newfound love for coleslaw. I kind of developed after Detroit Vegan Soul in our Detroit episode. This was right there next to it, just perfect. Like, if this was what coleslaw always tastes like, I would eat it all the time. I went up the second time and got the barbecue nachos. It's the same barbecue from the barbecue plate, obviously on tortilla chips, black beans, vegan nacho cheese, and just a mound of vegetables. If these weren't the best nachos I've ever had, they were right there with it. I mean, just amazing. For desserts, we actually went over to one of the vendors who was, I believe, from Timberlake, North Carolina, Taylor Street Sweets. Got a couple of cupcakes from them. The first one I got was a carrot cake, was really good. The second one I got, I'm gonna get the name wrong, but it was like a mango lemon. So it was like a vanilla cupcake, like a mango filling frosting, and then like a little lemon cookie on top. I definitely could have ate a couple more of those. Just amazing. If you're in that area, check them out. Timberlake, North Carolina. If I'm rating the overall event out of 5, I'm gonna go with 4.8. I couldn't have really asked for anything better. From the food, and like I said, the people, the atmosphere, playing with the little pigs out back, just a great time. If they do another one, if this is going to be an annual thing, I'm going to do my best to come out there. I recommend you check it out too. For Adam's pick, we actually went down to Raleigh, and I went to Brewery Bhavana. Now this was a full-on, like, this is an Adam pick. This is an Adam kind of place. Besides the restaurant, it was also a bookstore, a flower shop, and a brewery. And when I picture a place like that, I was thinking it was going to be small, very small selection of books, not much on the flowers, but it was the exact opposite. Very wide variety and big selection of books, lots of beautiful flowers. Can't say much about the brewery. I don't drink. I don't really know anything about beer. Seemed to be a pretty cool selection. That's all I can really say about that. As far as the food, the restaurant side of it, the menu had a couple items that were already vegan, and a couple things that could be easily made vegan just by substituting some things out. I decided to play it safe and just went with a General Tso's tofu. When I go with something like that, I really want my tofu to be crispy, and they perfected it. Like, this was perfect tofu. The sauce was rich, delicious. Everything was really filling, a good sized serving. I really enjoyed my food there. I would have liked to try some of the other things, but it gives me an excuse to come back. Adam really would have enjoyed this place. This was right up his alley. Really, if you're in Raleigh and this is your type of place, I would definitely recommend checking it out. I don't think you'd be disappointed. I'd probably go with about a 4.5 out of 5 on this one. Simply because the vegan variety for me wasn't a lot. So it bumps it down a little bit, but then it gets bumped up back a little bit because of what I had was really delicious. They could have went so basic with the General Tso's, but they took it a step above and really did something extra with it, and I really enjoyed it. Check all these places out if you're in the area. I'm hoping to get down to Raleigh again, and hopefully we can do a full Raleigh episode. But in the meantime, between time, thanks for watching.